off our face here. There we go. We may have needed it. Might as well put bags on our heads. Welcome to another episode of Keeping It Orange and Blue. I'm Ryan Schroep, joined as always, Kevin Ducey. Kev at least got to experience a win this weekend. How was that, Kev?
Well, I mean, considering my teams went, 1-5 this weekend, it was pretty cool. But it was the one I least scared about, to be honest with you, even though I was in attendance. It was funny being at the game with my little 9-year-old nephew, who's a huge Cowboys fan. Also, I had to keep my excitement when the Bears did something good to not get him all upset. But Soldier Field, it was a great, beautiful environment. Got a great view of the lake. We had perfect weather. Caleb Williams looked like an NFL quarterback, but when you're playing a college defense, that's not happy.
And I'm going to keep it real, since we're keeping it orange and blue, I got to keep it real with my Cowboys. They are the team that I care about the least of every team I follow. So Illinois basketball and football are 1 and 1A, 1B, whatever. St. Louis Cardinals or baseball is right behind them. And then I'm trying to think for hockey, I really don't have anything special. And then the Cowboys. And no really NBA affiliation. I mean, I root for the Bulls because of Io, but, that's about it. So I didn't really have a great sports weekend then, apparently, because, Illinois lost and the Cowboys, looked pretty pathetic. Yeah, but you know what? Life moves on. And if we let one weekend beat us, Kev, then we're definitely going to get beat next weekend. So we are not going to talk too much about IU. We'll give maybe 5 to 10 minutes. We're going to put a bow on it, and then we're going to go dissect USC and mainly talk about USC. And if there is any champagne toast to give, I guess we'll we'll look into it. I don't know if there is any. Kevin,
yeah, the champagne toast is thank God the game was only 60 minutes long.
Yeah,
thank God it didn't go any longer. That's it. Listen, Ryan, what's there to talk about? Offense, F. Defense, F. Special teams, F-. Coaching, F. Preparedness, F. Health after the game, F. Leaving players in the second, late in the second half to get a concussion, F.
That I think let's F. If we're going to talk about something, though, I think the coaching accountability stuff is worth it. I just don't understand, Kevin, how you didn't learn after you leave Xavier Scotty against Western Michigan. How do we not know this? As much as me and you love Brett Bielema and we know the man's pedigree, the man's been coaching for 30 plus years. I don't understand how, when you know better anyway with Xavier Scott, there's no way in hell he should have been in there anyway, knowing he already had a procedure on his ankle in the offseason, to be in there in the fourth quarter knowing what you had the next week, Indiana. Let's leave him in there. I watched his ankle bend and, move around really odd. And I'm like, he still got up. I didn't realize it was the ankle he had surgery on in the offseason until just a few days ago.
Well, I also think, one of the things that we left our starters in too long against Oregon, and we had a tired team when we came back. Now that you factor in the trip, that we laid a dud when we played Minnesota the following week. I don't understand. But here's the one thing is.
But you would learn, though, against Indiana not to do that, right?
The one thing I will you do have a limited travel roster. The Xavier Scott one is worse, in my opinion, because you do have a limited travel roster. You're not going there with the full complement of guys. I'm not sure how many guys go on the travel roster. I don't recall what the numbers are. But our secondary was already pretty damn depleted. You had Miles Scott, who's already out. Obviously, you had Xavier Scott out. You had other guys getting dinged up. You got to put somebody back there, and that might have been the problem. So I have a little bit more grace for the Matt Bailey concussion, because you had Torrey Cox banged up, you had Caleb Patterson banged up, you had Miles Scott out, you had Xavier Scott out.
At that pace, put anybody else besides your star out there. I mean, I don't care, man. Put a wide receiver out there. You know what I'm saying? You can't afford to lose Matthew Bailey. You can't. And now there's a chance he might not play against USC. Yeah. It's those are just dumb decisions. He put Sabua Kareem in there finally. He played good. Okay. Yeah, well.
SDR, I'm at a loss for words too. I've been dreading doing this podcast. Like I normally look forward to it, even after losses. I was okay with, what just astounds me is Oregon last year, more talented team than Indiana this year. We're a better team this year than we were last year. You have to believe that with the amount of people that are coming back. And we were more competitive against the 12-0 Oregon Ducks than we were. It was anybody ever watched the movie The Replacements? And there's a scene in there where Gene Hackman's addressing the team, and he's like, "What are you guys afraid of?" And Keanu Reeves says, "Quicksand." And all the guys are like, "What do you mean quicksand?" They start kind of laughing at him. And it's like when you get sucked in, the harder you try and pull out, you just get sucked in, right? And that's what happened. It was a chain of events that they just kept getting sucked in. I will say this. Nathan Durst says Indiana may be elite. I think Indiana is really freaking good. I think
I'm gonna be honest too, man. What Indiana has so many damn weapons on offense, it's pretty fucking ridiculous.
Like, they are really good. That's a really good football team. But it's one of those things like, Ryan, if we left that game and it was a 41-27 or 41-24 or 38-21, we'd be pissed. But we'd also not be sitting here like, I'm questioning how many more games can this team win after that one. You know what that game felt like to me? Like Brett Bielema and Barry Lunny and Aaron Henry, when they would call a play, they were operating in Tech Mobile. So Kurt Signetti and his staff had a 1 in 4 chance of guessing the play exactly right. Anybody ever played Tech Mobile? Not Super Tech Mobile where you had 8 plays. Regular Tech Mobile where you had 2 runs and 2 passes. That's what it felt like. And they dialed up everything to counteract whatever we called while they were dealing with the First World Playbook. That's what it felt like. It was just,
and we talked about this a little bit off air, and I can say this. I think a lot of things contributed to the ass whooping, and but I will say too, the special teams cost Illinois 14 points in the first 15 minutes of the game.
Yeah, it's crazy because special teams have been so buttoned up, and like, I know there's some comments in the chat like good coaches you can't be a good coach and lose by 53 points.
That's not. I wouldn't say that's true.
Well, I mean, Brett Bielema's been a coach for a long time. This has never happened to him. This is, and I'll go ahead. Okay, I was going to. I don't
know if do you remember or not, but don't you remember Urban Meyer and Ohio State getting their ass kicked by Iowa and Iowa City like 7 or 8 years ago? Do you remember that?
Vaguely.
It was like 48-10 or something like that. I'm just saying it was a lot.
The question is like, how healthy are we? Are we going to let the game beat us twice? USC poses a lot of the same challenges that Indiana does. They're really a hyper efficient offense. They've scored 30 touchdowns in 4 games.
Here's the thing now. Can the offensive line and the protections and the schematics and the communication, as Brett said today, just all those things that are important that were just bad against USC, because their defense is susceptible.
It is, yeah, especially to the pass.
Yes.
Especially to the pass. But one thing they do is they get after the quarterback. They said they have 16 sacks. They're like top 10 in the country in sacks this year.
So if Luke gets some time to throw, he will be able to. He'll be able to find guys open. The problem is that it's a nasty front four. I watched the Michigan State game. They've got 2 NFL guys on the edge. It looks like, or in interior, and back to this whole O-line thing. And I think, but to finish up for me for IU, that's what I want to say for people. Here's why I still think Illinois can be a 9-win team. Who has to? By the way, for them to win 10, they're going to have to win at Washington, and that's going to be tough, I think. But why do I still think Illinois has a lot to play for this year? There's still a lot of talent on this team. The schedule sets up pretty well after Washington. And I will say, too, that I'm keeping perspective. You think about it. Xavier Scott didn't play. Miles Scott didn't get to play even a whole half. Without Lawfrey and Bowick, and those are 2 huge pieces on offense. Jaheim Clark still hadn't played yet. You're playing second and third string cornerbacks, and after Patterson goes down by halftime, and then Cox gets hurt in the third, it's like there's a lot of things here. You're playing on the road. It's a hostile environment. If that game was in Champaign and our whole team was healthy, it's a pretty close game in my opinion. I still think Indiana's the better team, and I will keep that. I still feel I feel that way.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like I'm coming away from this giving them all their flowers. Mendoza was really, really good. Like,
But I'm not jumping off the bandwagon because I know there was a lot of things at play. Illinois, that's the worst special teams game Illinois has had in 2 years.
We'll know in a few weeks. That might be the best team we play all year.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not, and I'm saying this in the fact that I understand Ohio State's ranked number 1. I've watched them play. I think Oregon's better than them right now. I mean, they don't impress me all that much.
Indiana's going to get their crack at 2 of them, and I think they might sneak one out of there.
But here's the biggest challenge going forward, Ryan. We have big noon kickoff coming to Champaign on Saturday. We are 3-1, top 25 ranked football team.
Yep.
Will our fans, and please listen, the people who watch this show, who tune in and listen to us, are not the fans I'm talking about. I know that every single one of you, if you had a ticket or could get a ticket or could make it, would go. Like, are we gonna fill the place? It's sold out. Are we gonna show up? Like that, our fan base is so fickle. Like, oh, are we even gonna go to a bowl game anymore? Like, what are we gonna do? So, like, I just, man, I just my thing is just this. If I would have told you at the end of the 23 season that we'd be 3-1 in 2025, ranked in the top 25, playing USC at home with big noon kickoff coming on, everybody in our fan base would be ecstatic with that, and we still should be.
Yeah,
it's just we laid an incredible egg.
Lawfrey and Bowick did not play Bill Moe, and those, to me, Lawfrey is the most consistent back, and Bowick has been their most consistent threat in the red zone, and deep threat too.
Beatty didn't do much after getting hit.
Yeah, and Beatty got hurt the first play of the game. Yeah, right. Yep. And SDR, he's saying Bielema is not the guy. I disagree. I think.
Well, he told us Brad Underwood wasn't the guy, and how much Brad during basketball season. I get my man's just angry. It's this guy, the guy's done. The guy is the guy. The guy won 10 games here. The guy won 8 games a couple of years ago. The guy, his worst season at Illinois is 5-7, which is, so it's one of those things that we really. You hope
Lawfrey probably is the best blocking running back for Illinois.
That Fagan is not a very good pass protector for his size. So
yeah, he whiffs quite a bit. And you think, I'm going to be honest, though, I watched Valentine. He did a decent job when he was in there blocking.
Yeah.
On the touchdown pass, he stuffs the linebacker. So yeah.
And a lot of people have said it. SDR talked about Signetti said it was the Duke game, and we did a lot of the same things, and that's why I said it felt like we were playing Tecmo Bowl, and they were calling down B, and that was the exact same play we called, and all of a sudden, now here's the thing for me going forward, Ryan, is that Brett said it's not on the players as far as like their abilities for the offensive line. At some point in time, I got to look at it and say,
yeah,
do we need to make a change? Like, is there somebody there? I just want to, like, where are we? Like, is it time for Brandon Hanson to play? Is it time for Desmond Schuster to play?
Yeah.
Time for Tyler McMillan to play, or TJ McMillan to play?
McMillan, yeah.
Confused. Are we going to see Vernon Woodward this week? My guess is he probably wasn't a travel squad guy. I don't know. If anybody was there,
or Zane Scott.
Yeah, Zane Scott, right? Like, we're gonna have to see something. Lehman said it on the podcast today about, when you're young and inexperienced, you think you can go make plays, and you try and you sell out for them, and that which causes a lot of missed tackles. So it comes down to this, and Lehman said it really well. Our blocking and tackling sucked. Love you. Our blocking and tackling, that's supposed to be the signature of what Brett Bielema is about. Brett Bielema is molding our program after Iowa level, Wisconsin level. And blocking and tackling are the foundations there. So
no, that's not a lie. They missed 20 tackles against Indiana. Cut that in half, and maybe they score 14 less points. And then maybe the special teams does its job, and maybe it's only 35-10 is the final. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that made it be so ugly, but tackling's got to be fixed. And I will say this too. Brett Bielema is not going to come and shit on his staff and his players. He never will. But, yeah, it was – I think Bart Miller and me and you have never really – over the last couple of years haven't really been big fans of his progress, of his low line. Why I say that for me, when I listened to him his first year or two, he was talking about his units have to be the biggest, nastiest physical units out there. And when's the last time that was the case?
I don't know. Since before he got here?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
The Doug Kramer offensive lines with Verdarian Lowe and those guys, those guys were a lot better.
And that's exactly what I mean. It's like they don't get better. It's like almost regression. I'm going to be honest. Like, I was happy that they were coming back because they have experience and they know, anything with familiarity of the schemes, with familiarity for Altmaier and your offensive coordinator, to me, is good. I never sat back, though, in the offseason and thought, I just really love how Josh Gesky blocks. Like, I love Josh Kreutz as the center. I think he does an amazing job. I never thought that. I thought together as a unit, Henderson would blossom, right?
Right.
AC Davis is going to be a second to fourth round draft pick. So I'm like, and Priestley's just a nasty guy, and sometimes his attitude and his ferocity gets the best of him, and he struggles sometimes. I mean, I was watching him pretty closely in the game. He got beat some, but he was by far not the worst lineman on the team.
No, my understanding, I haven't broken it down, but the guys on the left side were holding their own. Gesky, I think, is probably graded out the highest.
So it looked like it was Kreutz, Henderson, and then Priestley.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep it honest, though. I'm not – Josh Kreutz, to me, I don't know how – I said a video earlier today that just because you have a C on your jersey doesn't mean that you can't grab some bench. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I feel about it. If there's – I will have to watch the film, and I'd love to see what he graded out, but I was watching guys blow by him all night. And, a couple times he didn't even get a hand on him. And
our longest drive of the entire first half and plays wise was 8. Every other possession was 5 or fewer plays. So it's one of those things where I understand that the score when you get 63 points hung on you looks really bad, and it is indicative. The defense wasn't good. I'm not making excuses for them. The offense did them no favors.
Thanks for tuning in, Paul. I mean, at the end of the day, we've already come on here and said that we think Indiana is an elite team and they're the better team. But if anybody thinks that if the game was in Champaign and Illinois was healthy, they had 5 or 6 quality people who didn't play, the game would have been a lot closer. So, I mean, it is what it is. Indiana's got a great program. I like Cignetti, but Illinois' got to do what Illinois does to get to where they were. They won 7 straight games in a row. We can't forget that. But there are just some lingering issues here that are going to hold Illinois back from their true potential, which I think can be 9 wins and fighting for 10 if they can't block. If you can't, Luke's giddy in the pocket because he's got guys up his ass all game. Like,
yeah, it's the same thing like Bears fans with Caleb Williams. They're like, well, why is he doing that? It's like he's seeing ghosts, man. When you get hit that much, you start to see ghosts. I mean, we've been sacked a ton this year. I think it's 16 times we've been sacked in 4 games. That's too much. That's too much for half a season, let alone 4 games. That's too much for 2/3 of a season. All right.
To me, I'm taking some of that off of Luke. It's like, well, our quarterback's he's just gotta hang in there. Well, yeah, he hangs in there plenty and has to run for his life, and he makes good plays with his feet. I think he missed a couple, when there were some guys open when he was running for his life, but like, I can't fault the guy for trying to get out of there, man.
Yeah. And we are like, one of the things I think we're going to have to do is I think we're going to have to play some zone. Like, and it's just not, I know it's not the ideal
We
way
hate it.
and it's not the way to keep an RPO team down, but they were just killing us on those first read slants. I mean, somebody said that Mendoza's the knock on him is if he gets to a second read, he can't do anything. Well, he didn't have to. It didn't seem like he had to get to a second read all night. I mean, there was a touchdown to Surratt where we're bringing a blitz, and I'm like, if you're a cornerback, the one thing you can't let is an inside release, and Torrey Cox just gives him an inside release. It was just
well,
bad.
no, and then there was the one where T Strain left the whole right side of the end zone wide open, where he didn't even have to do much but run 5 yards and hit to the head of the sideline, and the ball was already on his way.
Yeah, but I want to come back to this. Like, it was one game and it was awful. That was. I think the bigger outlier was not how good Indiana looked; it was how bad Illinois was. I think that's the bigger outlier of this game. I think that Indiana is a really good football team, and I think they played probably as well as they could have played, and we helped them a ton. I think we played as poorly as we possibly could have played. Like, I don't think we could have. I don't think it's the worst game in Brett Bielema's tenure at Illinois by a mile. There's nothing even remotely close to it. So, is the knee-jerk reaction to sit here and say this is who this team is, or is the appropriate reaction to sit here and say Illinois was beating teams by an average of 45-7 in its first 3 games? It's the first time we won 3 straight games by that many points to start the season since 1914. That team won a national championship, by the way. Like, we won 7 straight games coming in. We were tied with Ohio State for the longest winning streak in the nation going into Saturday. We won 10 games a year ago. We've been a hyper-competitive football team. Even in the seasons we went 5-7, we were a hyper-competitive football team for the most part. Especially the back half of the first half of 2021, not so much. The back half, yes. We were in games. We fought. Like, there were some stinkers and some duds. The Purdue 44-19 game comes to mind, but that was a farce.
And Illinois easily should have been to a bowl game that year too. I mean,
absolutely.
That Rutgers game at home, where the 17-year-old freshman who hasn't played much anywhere else got lucky and threw a first touchdown, on his first pass of his career on a 4th down. And it's like, and that cost Illinois a bowl game.
But the thing is we're running into we got a really good team that's coming this way. The things that are in our favor, first of all, 11 a.m. kick. I don't care what you do. That's 9 a.m. That's 9 a.m. California.
Yeah, they're not ready to play a game at 9 a.m.
They did not travel east well at all last year. And if you look at it, they went their worst game of the year so far was at Purdue. They only hung 33 points. Purdue, we saw, just gave up 56 to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to have some troubles because of the start. I think that's a big thing in our favor. If we can start fast and get some confidence back, we should be okay. We should be fine. So
yeah, and the line's at 7. People don't believe in Illinois, and that's okay. And I think Illinois should use that to their advantage this week, and they should be primed and embarrassed. And like, you have to come out for your pride as a man, as a team, to for the fans and people who support you. Like, it's your name's on the back of that jersey. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, pride should matter. And what we just saw Saturday and homecoming, it's early kick. There's a lot of things in Illinois' favor here. I don't know if they're traveling Thursday. I think they still come on Friday. There's going to be a difference there, So people were trying to get him to Lincoln Riley to get the guys to come Thursday night, to kind of get that little bit of jet lag, So
yeah, I think having big noon kickoff. I mean, I talk about that all the time, that those types of things matter. And so,
yes, the REO halftime, REO Speedwagon factor, definitely.
Yeah, right.
I don't think USC is 10 times more talented than Indiana. Definitely not defensively.
I mean, the recruiting rankings are going to say they are, but where are these guys? I mean, what Signetti has done is done really well in the portal. I mean, you've got the Aiden number 4, their linebacker, a transfer from JMU. That guy's an All-American.
Aiden Fisher. Yep.
Aiden Fisher. Yeah. And so those guys are more experienced. This was a USC team. The defense has gotten a lot better, but it was a really porous defensive line last year. Maeva is playing extremely well. But what Maeva, what's he going to do if he does get some pressure? Because this Illinois team, we do get to the quarterback. We still get the quarterback fairly well.
They sacked Mendoza twice. They did.
So we're going to have to. The things that are working out in our favor for this game, I think that really excite me is that it's an 11 a.m. kick, and we got the big noon kickoff, and I hope people get their butts in the stands because if we can start quickly against them, it can give us some renewed confidence, and we can start moving forward. So, and I don't know why we can't SDR. Why can't we cannot recruit against Indiana? Well, we have a better recruiting class coming in next year than they do, and last I checked, we just got $100 million. So,
yep.
And their coach has a big contract and a huge buyout, and somebody might take it. So you never know. And I also wonder, what's it going to be when his transfers from JMU are all gone? Who knows?
Yeah.
But I think he's a fantastic coach. He knows he's a first class prick in every sense of the word. I cannot stand him, but he's a fantastic football coach.
So just briefly, I will say that. So Maeva, their quarterback for USC, is number 1 in the nation in efficiency. Illinois, Luke Altmaier's 15th in the country in passing efficiency. Not too shabby. But yes, Jordan Maeva, number 1, 20 out of 26 for 234 yards and 3 touchdowns against Michigan State. It was a pretty close game. 7-point game in the fourth quarter. And Michigan State, while they score a lot, their defense is not good. So there's a couple things here. USC,
every team's thrown for over 200 yards on them, which is kind of crazy when you think they played Missouri State and Georgia Southern.
Yes. So you can move the ball on USC. That's just Purdue left a bunch of points on the board. Ryan Brown threw 2 picks.
Yards.
Yeah, 2 picks in the red zone against them. Yeah. And they should have had way more than 17.
Yeah, and USC only hung 33 points on a bad Purdue defense with a defensive touchdown. So this isn't. We can win this game. We're gonna have to play well. We're gonna have to play better. We're gonna have to play like we did the second half against Duke. We're gonna have to fix some things. But
gonna have to get a turnover or 2 for sure.
Hey, SDR, I get it that USC's defensive linemen are ranked higher than Indiana's from a recruiting standpoint. You know who's ranked way higher than Johnny Newton? Calvin Avery. Calvin Avery's a good player at Illinois, but D'Angelo McCray was ranked way higher. Eric Jefferson was 5-star. Whatever happened to him? Melvin Elise. I can go down the list of I don't care how you ranked. How are you getting developed? What's your experience? I'd take a 3-star kid who's in his 4th year of college football over a first-year 5-star on a defensive line any day of the week, just about. So.
Yes, the one name to really watch because they've got an injured wide receiver, Jacoby Lane, I think, who didn't play against Michigan State. He's really, really good. He had some one-handed grabs this year. But Mekhi Lemon is the name.
Lemon.
Yeah, he had 4, a huge. Right? What'd you say?
Is it number 4?
No, he's number 6.
6. I knew it was a single digit.
Yeah. So he had 127 yards, 64 kickoff return yards, 23 punt return yards, but he had some big catches, man. He was getting behind the defense all night. He's pretty speedy, 5'11", 190 pounds. That's his main target. And then he went to Krishan McCray behind that.
And then Wayman Jordan's having a hell of a year. He's got almost 500 yards on 57 carries. I mean, the guy's 8 yards a pop.
Yeah, so Wayman Jordan is going to be the main guy to watch here running the ball.
2, yeah.
Yep. So, again, it's explosive. Sometimes Maeva uses his feet. To me, he reminds me a little bit of Fernando Mendoza running. He's not like Ryan Brown athletic, but he is decently athletic if he needs to use his feet. Again, Georgia Southern put 20 points on them. Purdue should have had it in the mid-20s, if not more. Michigan State put 31 on them. This is not a defense that Illinois should fear, other than if Altmaier's not going to be allowed to throw the ball, then yeah, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, you're going to have to keep an eye on number 10, Braylon Shelby, 3.5 sacks on the year, and then Eric Gentry, number 18. He's built like a basketball player, 6'6", 225. Those are the guys that are coming off the edge. Both of them have 3 sacks. They got a bunch of guys with multiple sacks already this year. Cameron Crawford, number 1, 6'5", 265. All their defensive ends are like those long, lean guys.
SDR, how much do you think their roster was last year? I mean, the roster was worth a lot last year and the year before that. So
yeah, I mean they got some guys there, but they're young and obviously they can be got. Their secondary is opportunistic. They got a guy who's got 3 picks on the season, Bishop Fitzgerald, another guy to keep eye out for, number 19. He's a 5th-year senior, so he's been around. He's their Matt Bailey back there. There's Xavier Scott. So hey, listen, all the things that I talked about. You want to beat Illinois. You want to beat us really bad. You do this absolutely all night long. You put us into very predictable passing situations where you can expose our leaky offensive line. You want to, and then you also want to be able to keep yourself where Illinois is in conflict, where they don't know if you're going to throw or run. So we'll see. If Illinois is going to, once again, Illinois is going to have to find a way to stop the run against USC. Put USC into some 3rd and long, 2nd and longs. I also want to see Illinois get more creative on offense. Like when you're getting this much rush and people are blitzing us, and they're blitzing us regularly, I want to throw some screen passes, some draws, some quick outs in the flat to the running backs. So like those little quick bubble screens. You could do it to the backs. The tight end screen that Indiana ran was beautiful. Like I'd love for us to do that. I think the Packers do it all the time. So we got to figure out a way to get a little bit more creative on offense and give ourselves put the fear of the defense in mind. It was like the Bears ran a screen pass yesterday. DeAndre Swift up the sideline, it was right in front of me, and you got to gain like 40 yards. The next play, the Bears ran a reverse to Zacchaeus, and Tom Brady was like, dude, Ben Johnson is putting defenders in conflict all the time. They are crazy to think about where it's like where things are coming from. Lunny's got to get in his bag a little bit. Now, granted, it's really hard when you're 3rd and whatever all day long. So who knows?
yes, Signetti could have kept his guys in there the whole 4th quarter and he probably could have scored 80, and our players would have still not been able to get off blocks and probably been chasing guys down the field for 60-yard scores. It was just that kind of day. Now,
but sports are sports, man. I mean, like the Thunder got steamrolled a couple times in the playoffs and still won a title. Like sports are sports. Weird things can happen. Things go away.
Josh Miller, USC tight ends are a big mismatch for you guys this game with that thin secondary. I think the secondary is thin, but I think there's also a chance guys like Jaheim Clark come back and Miles Scott will be back. We'll see about Matt Bailey. I mean, we all know USC is going to be a tough offense to shut down. I think 33 points is the lowest they've scored this year, and they probably should have had more than that. They had
that's because you took them for your lock. That's the only reason you're saying that.
Yeah. My lock last week, yuck. Woo! Like you were right, San Diego State. I mean, come on, man. Cal got
34 to nothing.
They got nothing burgered after beating Minnesota.
Well, I took the wrong team on my lock. I should have taken Tulsa at home getting points against Oklahoma.
Xavier Scott rehashed his ankle where they had surgery on over the spring. So not good. For the 2 slow white linebackers.
I didn't think JoJo Hayden play much. Was he get much time?
He played a little bit. He was 30. He was out there diving all over the field. He missed a couple tackles and he was mad at himself. I saw him talking to himself. But anyway, so a couple key guys are coming back though for Illinois this week. Aiden Lawfrey will be back. Justin Bowick. Those are 2 huge pieces off for the offense. Bowick is another guy who he's a trusted guy that Altmaier's already connected with big time. He's a comfort blanket. He's a comfort blanket over the middle. He's a comfort blanket in the red zone. He's a big target. He's a big target with good hands, and but Lawfrey, man, I think he's the best all-around back, catching, pass catching, catching balls out of the backfield, burst and blocking, all three. So if you had to pick one, I think he's it. So the biggest issue here for me is, special teams has to be good again for Illinois to win this game. Offensive line and the connection with Tanner Arkin. Abney didn't play against Indiana, and he's one of their better.
Christian's hurt. Yeah, he was on the out list on that one.
So he's one of the best blocking linemen, tight ends we got. So those things all matter. It has to all gel.
This is crazy for me to say this, but it's factual here. Is all the goals that Illinois had in the season are not over because we lost like that. It's still just one loss. It's still like you just can't let this game beat you twice. We all know that the team did not play well. They did not play up to their ability against Indiana. I think the thing that concerns us is we didn't play well in the first half against Western Michigan. We didn't play well in the first half against Duke. We didn't play well in the first half against Western, from an offensive line standpoint. So that's the bigger concern. But we know that this team can be better. The offensive line looked pretty good at the end of last year against good Big Ten defenses. Well, can we start to do that? If Illinois can right the ship, a win Saturday would be huge.
A win Saturday will really change the opinions on most people that Illinois is overrated, and it helps Illinois' ranking back to get to where top 20-ish, and it also helps set up confidence heading into Purdue, which won't be an easy game. I mean, Purdue.
Barry Odom's doing a better job. So,
also, if Illinois has any chance at a game day, they got to beat USC,
right?
And they got to beat Purdue.
Yeah. I still think a 5-1 Illinois team could track game day with Ohio State.
A top 15-ish Illinois team,
is provided that Ohio State doesn't lose at Washington.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun one.
Yeah.
I mean this. I said 8-4 is the floor for this team, and I still believe it. I think I've watched enough ball this year to know Maryland is better, and they are good with a young quarterback, but they are still very young, and their defense is not good at all. Wisconsin's trash. Northwestern can't score on anybody decent, and Rutgers' defense is terrible. They can move the ball,
which is weird to say.
Yeah, it's so bad. It's Greg Schiano cannot be happy with that. Like, their defense is not good. And we get Rutgers at home, and they only go on the road to end the season at Wisconsin. Yeah. So that Purdue game is going to be key, but because that's not going to be an easy one. Illinois will be favored in it, though. And again,
it should travel well for that. So
8-4 is the floor, but I'm looking. Illinois can be better than 8-4 this year.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's also all of us, and that's why I'm trying to we got to stop this. Is it was everything that could have went wrong, and it's one game. Got to figure out a way to move on. You can still lose to USC and still have an 8-4 season. Things can still go the right way. But I've there's people out there are we going to make a bowl game? And I'm like, it might be an overreaction. Let's see. Let's see if this was a blip or this was a trend. Because even though some of the stuff with the O-line wasn't playing well, we still were beating teams by average of 45-7 to start the season.
And while 7-5, 8-4 would be disappointment, let's just think about where we were.
5-8-4 is never disappointment for Illinois football. It's never disappointment. Sorry. Going to a bowl game with this program that has been mired in what it's been mired in for 35 years, going to a bowl game is never a bad year.
No. The other thing, too, is when's the last time Illinois won 8 games in back-to-back years? We're talking about 10. When was the last time they won 8? Back in, 89, 90?
Yep, 88, 89, I think. Maybe it might have been 89, 90. Yeah.
So it's think about that. I was 3. So that's the last time Illinois has won back-to-back 8-win seasons. So let's take a step back. And again, but it's basketball time, guys. We're a basketball school. Basketball season's in 28 days. Forget about football. It's chill.
Well, you do know that Ben Humrickhouse is an elite athlete, so.
Ben Humrickhouse is what?
An elite athlete.
Maybe.
Brad said that today. I was like,
I love Brad, but come on, man.
He loves to heap some praise on this. SDR, no, I don't believe this will affect our recruiting class at all. Like, I don't.
No. Yes, Son Taurus, I agree. Mentality of that O line needs to change for sure. It's not nasty. It's not physical. And I will be honest, the secondary has just been beat up. I'd love to say there's something else other than that, but they are. So, Kev, with all that said, we're not doing toasts of champagne. Let's just get to final thoughts here, and put a bow on it. Well, I'll let you go ahead and start.
If you can go, if you have tickets, go. Like, just show up for this team. We're still a 3-1 football team. We're still ranked in the top 25. Surprisingly, if you ask me, I think it was just a bad night, and I think everything went against us. And I think we're going to find a way to rebound. I think we're going to be much more competitive on Saturday. I don't know if we're going to win. I'll save that for a Wednesday night on Fade the Deuce. So we'll go from there.
Yep. Now I will say I agree with you about the tickets. I think it should be 55,000 at least for homecoming. People have already
fill the damn thing. It's a sellout for a reason.
Yeah.
Get your ass in the seats and get your ass in the seats at 10:50.
Yeah.
No, we went back-to-back bowl games with Shieldhouse.
Yeah, but we didn't win 8 games back-to-back years. Yeah, it won 6 and 7. Yeah. Anyway, agreement to there. Just don't give up on the team yet. Still a lot to play for. Still tons of talent. I can tell you this: there's no reason for a team who's already beat up and down on themselves to have your home fan base, to say, you know what, we agree with the national pundits. Illinois is taking care of business before, but I want everybody to know Illinois wasn't the favorite against Indiana. I hope everybody realizes that. Okay. So nobody really thought they were going to win, but maybe Illinois fans. And I saw a few.
I would say that no, like the national, like the guys picking games, everybody.
I don't trust game day guys. Fuck them. Like they picked Duke. Okay. So what? I mean, Kirk Herbstreit picked Duke. He's only trying to fix his woes. They don't really watch the games. I don't believe it. Pat McAfee got it right because he just guesses. He picked Illinois, I think, to beat Duke. So, it is what it is. But there was a lot. I'm talking about all the podcasts I've been watching along the IU Illinois situation throughout. Most of the podcasts picked Indiana. Anyway. So my final thought is don't give up on the team. I still think this team is good enough to win 9 games at least. And definitely show up, but also do not forget, if you have not subscribed to this, please do. We're building the channel up. I hope you guys like, all the edits and graphics we're posting. We got a TikTok account. I've been posting stuff on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok. And yes, please subscribe here on YouTube. We're posting stuff everywhere you can find something. So we do appreciate it. And Wednesday night will be right 9:15 for Fade the Deuce. Anything else, Kev? All right, that'll do it. Swami out.